What's going on, guys? Ted from Immersion here, and on this week's D&D Weekly Update, we don't have a lot of stuff going on. A couple of little things, but I do have a contest that we are running, and some news about the game that I'm playing in that has been on YouTube Roll for Roll, as well as a couple other new magazines and other things like that. So stay tuned. So, without any further ado, let's jump right in. So first up is this blog known as the downunderdm.blogspot.com. And this is a complete 3D creation of the Dungeons & Dragons popular module Tomb of Horrors. It's pretty interesting, and I just kind of wanted to call this out, and Wizards of the Coast did as well, because the DM in charge of this, look at this, this is completely created in 3D. Rather than using a mat and drawing or anything like that, pit traps, everything here created in 3 dimensions. How awesome is that? So I just wanted to share this with you guys because it's really cool. Do you guys use 3D terrain when you play D&D, or do you stick more to a 2D, or do you just do theater of the mind? I'm always curious. I've been thinking about trying to add more 3-dimensional things like this into my game. Maybe not to this degree because this is insane. And especially when your players randomly generate crazy stuff every time you play, it's kind of hard to plan things like this out, unless you are sending them in a dungeon specifically like this. But maybe like puzzles and things with actual tactile things is nice to have. Alright, so next, Matt Monday. This is another part of the Curse of Strahd. They've been doing this, D&D's been doing this on their Facebook page, probably on their Tumblr as well. Every Monday they show a hand-drawn map of a Dungeons & Dragons level, so this is another thing from Curse of Strahd. Next up is a sad news, unfortunately. Wayne Englund, who is a renowned artist for Dungeons & Dragons, he passed away on February 9th. So they just wanted to do a kind of tribute to Wayne Englund and show off some of the amazing art that he's done with Dungeons & Dragons over the years. Some of you guys may recognize some of these from 5th edition. A lot of this is older stuff. Some of this equipment stuff I recognize. This is like a Tiamat thing here. Tiamat. You can see all sorts of Myrmidons and Tieflings and NPCs, Gricks, Grells, various trinkets. A lot of these trinkety things show up in various parts in the 5th edition handbook, or first player's handbook. To give you a little bit more about him, he has done drawings for 3rd, 4th, and 5th edition, so you may recognize some of the art. So you can, again, links will be in the description. If you want to see more of his art, you can go ahead and check out the link in the description. Next up is on the D&D podcast. This is all about Godsfall, a professionally edited 5th edition actual play radio drama from Washington, D.C.'s Aram Varshian, producer, DM and producer of Godsfall. And you can click right here, go to godsfall.com to learn some more about it. And listen to it actually there on SoundCloud. Alright, next up is Beamdog is the company behind the kind of updated versions of things like Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. They're going to be doing Siege of Dragonspear as well. But they're making a new magazine, or an e-zine, I guess if you want to be technical, similar to Dragon Plus. There's an app you can download on the iTunes, the App Store, and Google Play. It's called The Familiar, and it's got a lot of background on stuff that they've got going on. There's all sorts of art. This issue has takes a look at the state of the CRPG industry from Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition to Endspace's Sword Coast Legends. Step-by-step guide for adding custom portraits to Enhanced Edition games, plus 2 free beautiful portraits. The next issue, which will be coming out in the end of March, I believe, it's going to be around a quarterly release. It will be all about Siege of Dragonspear, and here's just a look on the Google Play Store, all the stuff about it, reviews and whatnot. I'll probably download it and check it out and let you guys know what I think, maybe do an actual review on it, but we'll see. It's a little late. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way, everybody. Sorry about that. Or belated Valentine's Day by the time you actually see this. The D&D Facebook, they had a bunch of different Dungeons and Dragons themed Valentine's estate cards. So maybe look into these. You maybe want to get those, use them for next year, or not, depending on your significant other or your Valentine of choice. But there you have it again, links in the description. Again, it's Friday Pass once again, so Matthew Mercer, Dungeon Master of Critical Role, has a tip up on geekandsundry.com. This was the Rule of Cool. Long story short, this is how to temper your players doing things that kind of bend and break the rules and mechanics of your system, of whatever RPG you're playing, to kind of allow them to do something cool. I'm sure we've all done this at various points where, and if not, if you're curious about what he means and what I'm talking about right now, you can go ahead and check the video. Again, point of fact, these do come out on geekandsundry.com before they hit YouTube, but they are eventually being uploaded to YouTube, so you can see them all there. But basically, your player wants to do something, and you can let them attempt to do it, and then whether you kind of temper that with your own, like, okay, no, you can't do that at all, or like, you know what, you don't really... Your character hasn't done anything really epic. Other people have been finding awesome items, killing all these crazy monsters. You know what? Sure, you can do that. You can, you know, teleport to where you need to be, or cause a giant avalanche to kill, you know, all the imposing enemies, and you know, you're able to get that one free shot before the NPC can, you know, run away or whatever. Break the mechanics and the actual rules of the game to allow your players to do something cool and cinematic that is more interesting to the game, and a memory potentially that the rest of the group will remember for the rest of the campaign, and if not, even into future campaigns. Lastly, today I want to talk about Roll for Roll. I know I've mentioned this a lot before, but as you can see right here, this is Roll for Roll on Twitch. That's right, folks, we were recording this and uploading the videos to our YouTube channel. We have now gone to the point we are live streaming instead. So every Sunday night, starting at about 9 p.m. Eastern Time, which is actually why this video is coming out so late, we were just playing. We play for around 3-ish hours, from 9 to about midnight. And then we stay on to kind of just chat and bullshit with you guys, talk about the game, talk to each other, and talk to the folks live in the chat. So if you would like to watch Roll for Roll live and interact with us during that, we try to keep things more focused on the game. Occasionally, some of us will type out to those of you watching in the chat, but we try to keep it, you know, low-key if possible. You can feel free to do that. If you like watching live streams and things like that, please feel free to subscribe and you know, like us, follow us here on Roll for Roll's Twitch channel. They will be uploaded to the Roll for Roll YouTube channel as well shortly after, so you can, again, feel free to check them out there. Unfortunately, the first episode, due to it being a new Twitch channel, we were unaware that when we were running it, that we didn't have archive broadcasts checked, so we actually, I think, lost the entire first episode of season 2. However, it is interesting. It was all festivals and feats of strength and drinking and dart throwing and all sorts of fun stuff. But we're actually going to start with some more hard, crunchy content of a boar hunt that's going to start next Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully we'll get to see you guys there. But that's pretty much it, guys. I told you it was going to be a fairly light week. So if you want to check out, our Tuesday D&D stream that we do every Tuesday night on the channel here, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time to around 11 or midnight, unless we have... we try to go to 11 if we're going to do a discussion show, but lately the games have been running so long due to unexpected encounters. So you can click right up here to see the most recent one, where the players finally leave the ice castle in which they had almost come to their death at the hand of a half-dragon ice sorceress named Nelsa. There's a lot of Frozen references in that initial game. However, on their way back to the local town of Red Larch with some new items in hand, they decided to start planting the magic beans that they'd purchased, and in doing so, summoned a pyramid with a mummy lord inside, which they're now trying to work their way through. Things get a little crazy. They are severely underleveled, so we're going to see how this goes. So you guys can feel free to check that out right there. Right here in the middle is our every other week Thursday live stream, where we play through in Fantasy Grounds. I said Fantasy Grounds, but I should change that. It's actually in Roll20, not Fantasy Grounds. My mistake, I forgot to alter that. But we play through Princes of the Apocalypse, the Elemental Evil campaign. The characters are around level 3-ish, and we play every other week, so we're actually just getting into the main campaign story of Elemental Evil, so you can feel free to check that out right there. And down the bottom, I mentioned the Tuesday D&D stream up above. We're actually running a contest right now on the channel. It's open, it's live, there's a video you can go and check out. We're trying to come up with a name. We've been referring to it as Tuesday D&D because we don't actually know what to call it, but we want to come up with a cool name for it, and something preferably not tied to the day, because we are planning on doing occasional, around once a month, Sunday streams that'll be a little bit longer. So we are going to be giving away some prizes. Obviously, you get the recognition of being known as the person who named the stream itself, but we're also going to be giving away a Dungeons & Dragons folio from Ultra Pro and a random set of 7 polyhedral dice from my own personal collection. So you'll get a D4, 6, 8, 10, percentile, 12, and 20. A matching set from my personal collection, as well as the D&D folio. So if you guys would like to check that out, all you have to do is submit a name. Multiple names can obviously be submitted, only one will win. The whole group will be going over them to discuss which one they like the best. You can feel free to comment on this video, comment on that video, send us emails at nerdimmersion@gmail.com, direct messages on Twitter, messages to the Facebook page, Tumblr messages, Pinterest messages, whatever you guys prefer is your preferred method of contact to us. That's a way you can go ahead and do that. But anyway, guys, that'll do it for us. As always, the links to all the videos and things you've seen will be in the description. You can click any of the annotations on this side of the screen to jump to those videos, and we'd love it if you'd click right over here and subscribe to the channel. That way you can stay up to date and let us know that you like what we're doing. We're slowly approaching 500 subs, and we will be doing something big and extravagant for that, some kind of giveaway or contest of some kind. So we're slowly approaching, and we'd greatly appreciate your guys' support. Once again, happy Valentine's Day, and I will see you guys next week, or Tuesday, whichever one comes first. Bye.